guys. Let's have a little chat before I head out on a ride. Yeah, I tried using this exhaust. It sounded great. It might be nice for my neighbors, but it definitely impacted my performance all the way around. So we're going to leave this off. Oh yeah, it comes with a flange and everything to mount it onto an exhaust. And dude, I tried everything, and apparently I saw L.A. Hubbard do it. He just stuck it in this way, and I didn't think about that, but it worked. It just, I like the way it sounded and the performance before. But yeah, it serves its purpose, I'll tell you that. These are the bottom ends I got available right now. Well, not available, shit, they're mine. This is my Zeta 80. I got tape around it so I don't fuck up the, this thing. And this is the Zeta 80 crank. This one is a ZL40, and this is the YD crank. These, I like the Zeta 80 bottoms, mainly because they're slightly more balanced on the crank, and they got thicker casting around the bearings housing, and that cuts down on vibration at top RPM. These YDs, I like them. You can tell they got good bearings and cranks in there. It's just the top ends are too fucking much money. Oh, and your limiting factor is with these intakes, guys. That's like 16 millimeters. You can bore them out more. If you can find them for stock intakes, they have the steel ones, 40 millimeter, not the 32. They're like impossible to find. This is a 40 millimeter steel one, and what's better about it is the diameter is it's bigger. It's just as big on the outside diameter, but the inside diameter it's basically thinner metal, and you got more airflow. And plus these things in there, if you look, that joint in there, you really got to clean that up. This one's I've worked on it a little bit, but still, this is your limiting factor, guys. It's about 16 millimeter. So if you get a bigger carburetor than 16 millimeter, probably 17 is, I wouldn't go any bigger than that with the stock intake, guys, because it's just, it's affecting, you're only getting that much fuel in there from as big as that choke point is. So if that choke point is any smaller than that, well then you got to match it up to your carb. For example, this is a bigger intake where I'm matching with this carb. I just haven't mounted it haven't built it yet. But anyways, yeah, so guys, you can go as big as you want with carburetors, but if you still got your stock intake, you're pretty much not doing any more than you would with a run-tong carburetor, believe it or not. I mean, shit, guys, that's what I got. Just a 40 millimeter intake. It's steel, but yeah, that's why you see guys with reeds. We're about to go, guys. I'm putting on my helmet. When you see guys with reeds, they got bigger intakes. And plus, where the reeds connect, usually there's a lot of port work done around that too, and it's just way bigger of an intake. It turns off better. That's the whole point of a reed, is it? It's a one-way valve, and piston port is obviously you don't have that. There's a little more slop in there. But we're about to go, guys. We're gonna have to let it warm up a little bit, though. How are we doing? See, if I had a bigger carburetor, I could go bigger than this, but I'd probably have to run real lean on my main jet to make it work. And then it's like, what's the point of using it then if I had to run so lean on it to get it to run clean, and I'm really not getting any much more power than I would have stock, to be honest with you. That's why I really like these run-tong carburetors for the stock intakes. They come fat with too big a jet in them to begin with, and so people get a bad name from that. And sometimes they have a problem with a high idle, and that's because it's a flat slide carb with the way that this throttle cable connects. The nipple at the end stops it from going. It catches on something basically, and you got to notice that, and you can kind of clean up around that area a little bit, and so it drops all the way down. That's why another reason people give up on the run-tongs. They're great for what they are, but once you start going bigger intakes is where you start stepping your game up and using those OKO carbs and shit like that. I just like to see how much I can get away with the cheap shit. All right, we're there, guys. Wait for this dude to pass. Buckle my shit, hold on. That sounds good. Not too cold. And to be honest with you, this one's a little rich on the top end. Sometimes I gotta be climbing up a hill, but it's almost like reserve. I keep it as reserve just in case I'm climbing up the hill or something, you throw a little more gas on me. But really, I'm right at the edge of it, so it's not really like it's running fast. Now, ideally, if this was a motorcycle with gears and 4-stroke, yeah, I'd have that motherfucker dialed in where it ain't so rich. But I got one gear to play with, and I like playing in the top end RPMs, and you just obviously we get our lubrication mixed in with the gas, so you want to be conscious of that fact. Yeah, at first when I put that muffler in, I was like, oh shit, sounds great, I like this. But when I was digging in the gas or climbing a hill, I could feel a difference. And I just wasn't willing to accept that. Yeah, I had the stock aluminum 40mm intake on it, but I didn't use the steel one prior because it was on the Zeta 80 build, and it was nearly impossible to put on. I had to basically put the studs on after I lined up everything. And so but yeah, it's a bigger intake, and I haven't got a good straight shot on it yet, only around the neighborhood. But I can tell it likes dude, I got all the parts I need to ride it right now. Hold on. Like I was saying, I got all the parts to build it right now. I'm just lazy as fuck. I'll build up enough motivation to say fuck it. Because it's going to be a better bike, faster motor, or at least it should. Yeah, I want to see how far I can go piston port. I don't like, I don't know. I know the reed valves are better in the end. It's not why I got into this. It wasn't for top end performance. It was for fun at first. And then it was to see how much I can get out of the little dinky motor. And now it's just I don't know, man. It's almost like a lifestyle. Some people don't understand. Well, why don't you have a motorcycle? I don't want a motorcycle. If I wanted one, I'd buy it. Alright, up here, guys, I'm going to put my helmet visor down. I won't be able to talk to y'all because we're going on a straight shot. Yeah, I got way too much front brake bias. When I hit the brakes, I was coming in too hot on that corner, and my front end would have washed out if I applied it the way I wanted to. So we came a little close there, guys. Yeah, anyway, that was it, y'all. Now to get started on this bitch. Got the top end all ready to go. Oh yeah, line that bitch out pretty good. It's all ready. Yeah, fucking nice. Anyway, y'all, that was fun. If you guys got any questions, I'm more than willing to help. But anyway, that's it, y'all. Later, bros.